My name's Mickey Marraffino, and I'm with Mickey M Marketing, and I'm on the board of the North Redondo Beach Business Association. And we have started a new program called Small Biz Live. And today we have a very special guest in honor of National Working Moms Day. Tonya McKenzie, founder of Sand and Shores, is also the president of the NRBBA, one of many, many volunteer activities that she's involved with. And so, Tonya, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate of all the amazing women in Redondo Beach that you chose me to speak with.
Yeah, well, you're Wonder Woman to me. I mean, you do such a great job with the NRBBA and helping to promote all of the small businesses that we have in North Redondo Beach. And you have your own public relations firm. And I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I'm trying to figure out how many volunteer groups you belong to. So let me rattle them off and tell me if I'm missing anything. Okay, we've got NRBBA president, and then in Redondo Beach, the Police Department Community Engagement Board, the General Plan Advisory Committee, and now the Crisis Committee, the Redondo Chamber Board of Directors, the Black Public Relations Society in LA Board of Directors, and then your sorority, you're really involved with Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And let's see, do you coach Little League too?
I'm one of the designated backup coaches because of all the other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I coach.
And then you're also not as a volunteer, but you're an author as well, and a child advocate.
I am.
So what did I forget? Did I forget anything?
I think you have nailed it, actually. You've nailed it. I haven't heard that list in a very long time. So I appreciate you reminding me. Probably there's some things I need to do after this call.
Well, it makes me tired just rattling it off. So, and then when I was talking to you earlier, you were telling me you can't talk at 7:30 in the morning because you're busy homeschooling.
Oh yeah, that whole new adventure. You'll definitely never hear me complaining to my kids' teachers about anything.
Right.
Ever again.
Everyone's got a new appreciation for our teachers.
Absolutely.
So how many kids do you have?
So I have 4 of my own. And I also raised 2. After my mom passed in 1999, I raised my 2 younger sisters. They were 5 and 7 at the time. So
okay. And your husband is also an entrepreneur, right?
He is. Ray comes from Silicon Valley. That's where he spent the top part of his career. And a company in Silicon Beach, Southern California, moved us out here, and he started his own firm. So yeah, he's definitely an entrepreneur. He has, a lot of travel that goes along with it. So being on top of things is hugely important for me, because while he's traveling, I need to take care of that whole list of things you rattled off and those other 4 little people.
Yeah. What ages are your children?
So I have one in college. He's 20, I think. He plays basketball for Sarah Lawrence College in New York. I have an 11-year-old at Adams. He plays basketball and baseball for Rock Stars out in Inglewood. And I have 2 9-year-olds. So Talia and Roman, they go to Madison, incredibly active, baseball, softball, cheerleading. Yeah.
Wow. Now, are you involved? Are you a cheer coach too?
I am.
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
So I did miss something.
Oh,
and I'm sure there's a lot more. So tell me about Sand and Shores. Tell us what kind of company it is, how you got started.
So Sand and Shores came about because I've always been in marketing and sales and working with nonprofits and civic organizations. What I've learned, particularly when I started at the YMCA, is that you make a larger impact with public relations than you do with advertising, okay? And especially when you don't have advertising dollars, which many nonprofits don't, they need to enable their public relations, which is basically their storytelling. And you can tell stories from various different angles, right? So when I moved out here to Southern California, I started working with Southland Publishing in West LA, dealing with a lot of companies, small businesses in Venice, Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey. Again, not a lot of large money to spend on marketing, so they needed that extra help. Um, the company wasn't really ready to start employing more of their digital components. So I started my own magazine, Real Estate Agent Magazine, and I wanted to do it closer to home because I've always been embedded in the community that I live in, no matter where that is, whether that's in San Jose or in Brentwood, California, Oakley, California. I'm a habitual complainer. But what I do know for sure is that if you're going to complain about something, you better be willing to jump in and fix it. So I wanted to have my business in a community that I lived in so that I could also serve, right? So I started the magazine, started getting very familiar with our real estate community, which you know is incredibly large here in beach cities, met some amazing business people. But I also learned that, yeah, I don't really like real estate, but I did love working with the community and being able to help some of my advertising clients do more public relations for their company rather than just buying an ad, just putting out some marketing material that says they're great. Marketing is you telling people how amazing you are. PR is you getting other people to tell people how amazing you are. So being able to help people understand that and implore those types of qualities in their business, one, it eventually saves them money. Two, they get known. One thing I know for sure when I lived in the Bay Area, we got to see a lot of businesses close down. Actually, if you remember the real estate collapse back then, it's almost similar to what we're going through right now with COVID, right? One thing that we learned is that people's businesses don't close down because they have bad services or because they have bad products. They close down because people don't know about them. So finding creative ways to help people get their name out into the community that they serve, their target market, just became my desire because I hated seeing businesses close simply because people didn't know about them, especially if I liked them. I wanted other people to experience that, right?
Right.
So hence Sand and Shores. It gave me the opportunity to work with companies and amazing entrepreneurs that wanted to do the work to get other people to really know and love their business. And I love that.
So you teach your clients what they need to get their story out, and then you assist them with that as well?
Absolutely. I even have a group on Facebook. It's called PR Advice. Um, it's free. You ask me anything, whether it's a contact for somebody in the media, maybe it's a contact for just another business owner that you want to collaborate with. Maybe you don't know who you want to collaborate with. You go in the group, you just ask, because I don't think there's any win in hoarding information. I've been blessed enough between my husband and I to have a plethora of great contacts in business and in the community and throughout the country and with him overseas. So what good does that do to hoard that information if it can help someone else do better, right?
Right. And I think with your contacts, you were also really helpful with the South Bay Women's Conference and getting the keynote speaker for, unfortunately, the event was canceled this year. It was actually supposed to take place today.
Yeah, I
But
saw that on the calendar.
yeah, you did a great job. Tell us who you worked with for the South Bay Women's Conference.
So Ariva Martin was going to do the keynote for this amazing event. She's an author that has an incredible experience. I was really looking forward to her sharing that story with the women of the South Bay because I know how impactful it has been to many in the Southern California region, and the women in the South Bay definitely deserve to hear that story, and hopefully she'll be back next year. But I was able to work with her publicist to make it happen, spoke with her a couple of times. She got my book. So just being able to continue those conversations and then hopefully bring her back next year. But Ariva Martin would have been dynamic for this and help raise money for those scholarships that we give out. Speaking of that organization, it was the first time last year that I realized that there's an organization that gives scholarships to women that are already in college.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
unique, right?
yeah,
That
that
story in
is
itself, yeah, that story in itself
exactly.
is like,
Right. That's one of the unique parts of the whole conference and the South Bay Business Women's Association is raising money for scholarships, but not just for high school students. We have them for high school
yes.
students, but also women who are returning back to college.
Yes,
And,
there was the woman last year was in grad. I think she was in grad school and
yeah,
dealing with complex trauma, and to be able to witness her getting money to continue her education and then give back, it's just it's incredibly powerful, and I love being a part of that.
right. And that's, I think, one of the reason that so many women belong to the organization and enjoy the conference because we all want to give back and we all love to give back through scholarships that way. So that's kind of the glue that holds the organization together. Yeah,
Absolutely. It's really the synergy of the South Bay. And it's a part of it that a lot of people don't get to experience. So I do implore whoever's on the call, whoever sees this, that they do get involved or find out about that. The funniest thing though was seeing the few men last year at the South Bay Women's Conference. Oh my God. That
I
was
think
incredible. That was
you know
hilarious.
what? I highly encourage men to go
I
because
do too.
men,
That was
I mean,
great.
your target audience is there. It's all women. So I always say the men who are there are the smart men. And I couldn't believe there were only 9, I counted, in a room of 400 women. And those men were just brilliant in my mind. So I think hopefully next year we'll see more men there because it just doesn't make sense not to go.
And they
Um,
contributed and they bought from vendors. It was just, and they got all the attention they needed.
exactly, exactly. And you also have a podcast, don't you?
I do. Actually, I have two. So I do my morning coffee with my girls Gia and Sarita. This came about because we actually had a soror pass. One of our sorority sisters passed a couple of years ago, and realized that we don't really have these open conversations about the things that are really festering and bothering us. So we wanted to start a podcast that was just a safe space for uncomfortable conversation.
Wow.
Gia is a sheriff in LA County. No, LA County Sheriff Lieutenant. She's a lieutenant. And she works in the women's facility. So she definitely has a layer of experience that is unique to most of us.
Right.
And Sarita is a mental health therapist, and she specializes in urban issues. So we get guests and we talk about things that are a little complicated. I think one of our first guests was a sex therapist, and she
Interesting.
started talking about how we should talk to our kids about masturbation at an early age. And I think I lost it on camera. Like that was I couldn't hold it together. I was like, what? I am not doing that. But Gia doesn't have kids. So her reaction, of course, is different. She's intrigued. I'm disgusted. Sarita's a therapist, so she's all in. I was like, we can't. This is bananas. And then we're all different generations. So Sarita's in her 30s. I'm in my 40s. Gia's in her 50s. I have
Oh,
kids. Those
great.
two don't. So it just gives a lot of perspective in regards to how people think based on their life experience. And then I have my podcast, which is Content Matters, and I speak to leaders in their genre of business, just talking about their business, what it took to make it excel, their leadership, their thought leadership in their selective field, and then some of the more complicated and complex issues in their life. So I had an author that wrote a book about church, right, and how money matters in church. It's pretty interesting. I don't want to give the title away, but it's on Spotify. If you guys want to go check it out, and it's just it's interesting when you have conversation with people about their experiences and what they get out of it. And the
Right.
crazy thing is, then it's what you get out of it might be something completely different listening to it. So content matters. I think the content of your character and the content in your business, it all boils down to life experience.
Great. Do those podcasts take place at on a certain date and time?
So my morning coffee is every other Monday, and we were recording in Morris Media Studios in the Crenshaw district in Los Angeles. Shout out to Felicia Morris. Her family is a historic legend in radio. So she opened a studio in Los Angeles. We love going there. We love supporting the business, but of course we can't go now. So we do it on Zoom, live on Facebook. And you guys can always check it out every other Monday, or you can go to my YouTube channel and they're all there
Okay.
because it's good. You know, it's there. And then the drops for Content Matters is just whenever I find someone worthy of having that conversation, you know.
Great.
I want to make sure that there's good content for the listeners.
Well, we'll make sure we have all the links also when we post this on the NRBBA YouTube page too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And our 15 minutes is up.
What?
I know. It was so fast. It was so fast.
I super appreciate it taking the time.
Yeah, so tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to have Small Business Saturday live. And Pinellas de Brazil is going to be actually it's Pinellas Brazil cuisine.
Yes.
I always say de Brazil, I don't know why. They'll be our guest tomorrow. And we actually have a pretty good lineup. I'm thinking we probably need to do a Small Biz Live during the week like we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think we should.
In addition to Saturday, because we've got so many great small businesses. And now with, you know, everything that's going on with the pandemic, we're opening up a little bit. But I think there's still an opportunity to get more information out there about our businesses. And obviously you are still helping businesses out during this time. Your business is probably busier.
Yeah, it is.
Than ever.
It is. But I want to say, I hope you guys tune in on Saturday or just decide to come out and check us out because the Saturday business, they have some of the best coffee. So for some of my coffee lovers out there, I actually met with Laura MD, our city councilwoman there, and she bought these little chocolate nodules of heaven that I've never gotten from anywhere else. So it would be great to hear, you know, what goes behind all that excellence that comes out of North Redondo Beach. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's an authentic Brazilian restaurant with Brazilian coffee. And I don't know about those little chocolate things. I'm going to have to.
Girl, they were heaven. They stopped the whole conversation for a minute.
Okay.
Showstoppers.
And I know they're doing delivery pickup now. So you can order and then go pick it up. So, and they have Brazilian cocktails too.
Yes, they do. Their cocktails are yummy.
Yeah.
Happy hour, anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Tonya. Happy National Working Moms Day on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. I mean, I think you're amazing. Thank you for all you're doing with the NRBBA and in our community and for helping our small businesses get their story out. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the opportunity. Miss Mickey, thank you for your time and all that you're doing for the small businesses. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.